Hello, reading friends. It's Mrs. Davis here in the Happy Place to Grow. Thanks for joining me once again. We are working through a new lesson where we're focused on long vowels that team together with letters. So one of our letter patterns was ILD. Do you remember? Ild. Yep. And then we teamed I with ND. Eind, right. And then finally, long O, old, which is a word. In activity number 1, we were building those words, beginning, middle, end, sounding out, saying fast. That's the very first step when we're thinking about learning new words and new patterns. The more that we get familiar with how they're built and how they sound from beginning to end, that helps us step forward so that we can be more automatic. In our activity number 2 in this lesson series, we worked on a flash where I was just flashing those words and we were thinking about beginning, middle, and end, and we were thinking about putting that together quickly. The more time that you spend with the words that you're studying, the words you're working on, and those patterns, the more permanent they become. So the more contact, the more practices. Then we played a few games. I Spy in our reading chart, and then we were pointing and reading. You were guessing on a chart. And we talked about the fact that when you are working on words with patterns, the more you practice with games, make flashcards, maybe play tic-tac-toe with those, and the more fun and the more contact you have with these word patterns, the quicker they're going to get in your memory bank. And then when you see them, you're going to know them by sight, and that's the goal. You want to build your fluency or your reading rate so things flow and you're not spending so much time trying to figure words out. So that's what these practices really help. Now, in activity 3, we're going to be putting our listening knowledge to the test, our pattern knowledge. I'm going to be saying those words that we have been working on. And you know, it's spell check time. Do, spell check time. This is a great activity because it's putting our vision, our listening to our thinking about in our mind what that word looks like beginning, middle, and end. They call that encoding, not pulling apart, but putting back together. And reading and spelling have such a connection. And once you know the patterns, not only can you read them quickly, but spelling is a breeze. In this activity, if you're new, hopefully you've been with me for a while, we're going to be creating a grid. Now I'm using just copy paper, but you can take any kind of paper, scrap paper, it doesn't matter. Today we're going to have 3 columns, Ild, Eind, and Old, and I'll be saying a word aloud, and you're going to spell it in the correct grid or correct column. And you need 3, so I just took this paper and made like a little trifold. That. Made it into like a little tube shape. I suggest using a pencil. I used a marker here just so you can see it on camera. I'm going to say the word aloud. I'm not going to write it down. I want you to write it down at home. And then we'll go back through and I'll recall them out, put them back in my chart, and you can check. All right, here we go. So this is the act of listening closely, spelling, and of course, you want your writing to be neat and readable. So B's should be in the right direction, and P's, and everything is neat. And all of the letters can be lowercase because there's no special names involved here. All right, let's get started. Go ahead and get your paper ready. I'll be here when you get back. All right, hopefully you're ready. Did you pause me and go get your paper ready? Hopefully you did. Here we go. So I'm going to call out the word you spell, and then we'll do our check. Listen closely, write neatly. Word number 1, old. I was getting very old. In my old age, I might be a little crabby. Old. Think about your patterns. That should be an easy one. Hello. Next word, cold. They say tomorrow's weather here in North Carolina will be very cold. Cold. Cold and old rhyme. That can help with spelling too, and reading. Thinking about rhyming words. Word 3, find. Find. I lost one of my gloves. I hope I find it before the cold weather comes. Find. Next word. Mild. Mild. The children were very mild and calm. Mild. Next word, fold. Fold. When the towels were dry, I had to fold them neatly. Fold. Next word, child. Child. Another name for a kid is a child. A child is one kid. Child. Okay. How you doing? Have confidence in yourself. And hey, even if you get something wrong, we'll circle it, fix it. It's okay. It's all part of the reading spelling journey. We've got this. Up next, something shiny that I like. Gold. Gold. The ring on my finger is made of gold. And it is. It's a precious metal. Gold. Next up, blind. Blind. It was very sunny out, so I closed the blind. The man could not see. He was blind. Blind. Okay. Don't spell blind. Yeah, that would be crazy. Next word, hold. I want to hold your hand. Hold. Hold on tight. Don't let go, because the ride's going very fast. Hold on tight. Hold. Only a few more. You can do it. Next one, kind. What kind of Halloween candy was your favorite? Kind. The girl was very kind and generous. Kind. This might be your favorite word. Hopefully it describes you sometimes, and me too, but not all the time. Wild. Wild. The wild animals in the jungle could be dangerous. Be careful. Wild. The opposite of tame is wild. Wild. And then finally, yes, we're up to the last one. We did it. Told. I told you we could get through this journey. Told. Told. Oh, that was great. You did wonderful. I know you did. Now it's time for spell check. So I'm going to call the word out again. I'm going to put it in the correct grid space. You're going to check your paper. If everything's okay, check mark. If you need to fix if a letter's backwards or it's misspelled, you can circle it, go back and correct it. Yes, that's really important because your mind is going to get the correction. You need to see it spelled correctly. You've got it. Okay, first up was old, which hello was the pattern. It's a word and the pattern, old, so it was O-L-D. I'm going to just write it in the grid so you know if you're new to the spell check. If you had written it here, then if it was everything was okay, just put a check mark on it. Or you can put a smiley, you can highlight it, whatever. Make it fun. Make everything about learning fun and an adventure. And then what rhymed with old was cold. So that's going in the same column. It was old. Flowers, I'm going to move you. Darlings, you have to go down there. Cold. Achoo! I have a cold. C-O-L-D. And then up next was find. That's the IND. Find. So you would put that in the next column. So your paper would look like this. And I'm writing with marker again, just so you can see. Check off as you get those correct. And then there was mild. Mild. I like mild flavored salsa, not hot. So it's M-I-L-D. And then fold. F-O-L-D. Right? And these are lowercase letters, but they're all tall. Some lowercase letters are tall, some are small, and some fall. And then child. That was the ch-ch-ch pattern. Child. Mild. Ch-ch-child. So check that. And then gold. You know how we said there's some lowercase letters that fall? Gold. Wow, we had a lot of olds. G-O-L-D, gold. And then blind, which could mean you don't have sight or the window coverings are blinds. And you can hear blind. Blind. Hopefully your B was in the right direction. Yes, that's important. And then hold. Hold. I'll stick that next to fold. The old family. Really old. That's still good. And then kind. And notice the K is tall, but then little arm and little leg are kicking under that dashed line. Kind. One of our favorite words to spell and be sometimes wild. W-I-L-D, wild. And then last but not least, told. Told. There were a lot of old family words. T-O-L-D, told. All right. So you're looking over your spell check columns. You're checking. Again, if just say for some reason on the word blind, you left off the L and you spelled it fine. Just say you did that. That can happen. Just circle the word. And then because you used your pencil, you can erase, or, you could just squeeze that L in. Or you could just rewrite it down at the bottom correctly. But it really is important to correct those mistakes. Again, your brain is going to register the correct spelling. It's really important. Again, the more correct contact you have with the words that you are working on, it's going to become permanent in your brain so that when you see it, you automatically can read it And when you write it, you'll spell it correctly. And that's what our goal is. So that reading is effortless. It's enjoyable. And we can do it with ease because we've got the skills that we need. The practice makes permanent idea in our brain. We can do this. Thanks for joining me for spell check time. I want you to join me for our next journey, our next learning activity. We're going to continue to be working on word patterns together, building those reading skills. But, until that time, practice this pattern, these patterns that we've been working on, especially if you had a little struggle with those, especially with the spelling. Continue to practice, play games, make flashcards. If you have some cereal in the morning, you can build those words, or a macaroni noodles or something. Have fun with it. If you've got a sandbox in your yard, you can flatten the sand and spell those words in the sandbox. Hey, make it fun, make it adventurous, but make it your goal to practice and read every day. All right, readers, spellers, thanks for joining me, Mrs. Davis. Happy Place to Grow. I'll see you real soon.